Okay, but I wanted a little bit more of Yang for...
Well, there's tons of Yang. I figured I'd have like 90 minutes. And I didn't just want to speechify the whole time because I've got this brilliant moderator and co-conspirator. Like I wasn't going to talk everyone's heads off, Larry.
But so here's the question. I want you to give us 2 minutes on really an incredible idea that you've been pushing, which I think more people need to think about, which is this question of universal basic income.
Oh, yes. All right. Ask and you shall receive. So my flagship policy is the Freedom Dividend, which is almost named after New Hampshire. But it's a policy where every adult gets $1,000 a month, free and clear to do whatever you want starting at age 18. And here in New Hampshire, that would mean about $8 billion a year in additional monies coming through your hands. And if you were to get $1,000 a month, just imagine I'm president in 2021, thanks to you all, thank you New Hampshire. And then the $1,000 a month comes back into your hands. Where would that money go? How would you all spend it? Student loans, buy a house, what was the other thing? Coffee, I think that was what I heard. So, how many of you have noticed stores closing around where you live here in New Hampshire? Now, why are those stores closing? Amazon, that's right. Amazon's like a giant black hole sucking up $20 billion in commerce a year and is now pushing 30% of Main Street stores and malls to close. So that's what you're on the receiving end of. How much did Amazon pay in federal taxes last year? Zero, that's right, less than each of us. And I would guess that, that probably seems messed up to you all, that $1 trillion tech company should not be paying zero in taxes, even as they're soaking the vitality up out of your communities and neighborhoods. So my plan is to go to Jeff Bezos and the gang and say, hey, all this money you're sucking up, we're going to return some of it to the people of New Hampshire in the form of this Freedom Dividend. Now, after you get this $1,000 a month, a little bit of it would float back up to Jeff and the gang. Like you'd buy an extra toaster or something. But most of the money would stay right here in New Hampshire, right? It would go to car repairs you've been putting off and tutoring for your kids and food and healthcare bills. It would grow your economy here in New Hampshire by about 15,000 jobs. And then this virtuous cycle of an economy that works for you all would become real. And one of the reasons why the Freedom Dividend is so important is I talked about my family. My wife is at home with our 2 boys right now, one of whom is autistic. What is her work valued at by our market economy? What is her work valued at by GDP? And we all know that's perverse. We know that what she's doing is among the most important and challenging work for our society. So the Freedom Dividend would not just put economic resources into your hands in this time of historic change, but it would also begin to recognize the uncompensated and unrecognized work that gets done in our homes and communities every day. So that is the flagship policy. The shorthand to everything I just said is that there's an Asian man running for president who wants to give everyone $1,000 a month.